Hello friends. So far I have discussed with you about the different aspects of C programming. And now, as you have already knowing about loops, now it is the correct time to discuss arrays. In previous cases, you have seen that whenever we declare a variable, let's say int a, so this particular variable is capable of holding only a single number. So a is equal to 5. Let's say this A is nothing but the marks of one student and he is having 10 subjects. So I will be saying that A1 for first subject, A2 for second subject, A3 for third subject, and likewise A10 for 10th subject. So far that's not a problem, but if you are having 100 students in a class and 10 subjects each, then that will be 100 students, 10 subject each, that means 1000 variables. So it will be difficult to manage the variables now. And even in the memory, so if this is your stack, then you will be having so many variables, variable names, and so on. So the programmer will sometimes get confused and even memory problem can also occur. So therefore, to reduce this difficulty, the feature of array comes. So arrays are basically collection of elements of similar data type. So here, what I can do now is I can write this A and now I can arrange the elements in a series in such a way that I can access the element by using their indexes. So this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, and this is 5. So can be thought of as 5th place, 4th place, 3rd place, 2nd place, 1st place, 0th place. And now I can enter 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 5. So these are the marks. Marks of what? This student A. So now can you see? I have entered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 marks in a single variable. This is the beauty of this array. So to declare one array is normally declared using a square bracket. And then inside that square bracket, one has to enter the size of that array. So right now it is 6, so I am writing 6. So this array A, sorry, this is capital A. This array A is basically a collection of integers, and this will be having total 6 integers in it. Now once we say this, size wise, what is the difference? So to understand that, let us come to the code. So let us define one integer A and let us define another integer capital A, but this time this is not an ordinary integer, this is an array having 5 number of elements. Now let us use one function called as sizeof to understand how much memory one takes uh, one occupies. So printf %d, comma, let's say I am printing the size of A, and then new line, then here I am interested in the size of A. So let us run it. So now you can see that as A is integer, so it is occupying 4 bytes, whereas this capital A is occupying 20 bytes. So system has done what? System has allocated 20 bytes of space for this A. Why? Because this is having 5 elements and 5 integer elements. So 5 integer elements means 5 times 4, that is 40 bytes of space. So in this way, the memory is provided to an array. So that is the reason why it can hold 5 elements inside it. And these elements will be numbered as A0, A1, A2, A3, A4, A5. So if you want to fetch any of the element from this array, you can simply say printf then A and then the index of that. Let's say I'm interested in fetching the element at the third index. So it is A3. If you are interested in element at first index, so it is A1 and so on. And if at all you are interested in fetching all the elements in this particular array, so this will be moving from A0, then A1, then A2 up to A5. Now you can understand that as you are varying the index number and this index number is an integer, so there is a way, and that is using a counter. That means using for loop. So for I is equal to 0, I is less than n. What is n here? It is 6, then I plus plus. And if you want to print, let's say printf percentage d, and as this is integer array, so ai. So in this way you can fetch the elements of an array. The understanding or the notion of this particular array can be thought of as the notion of vectors. In mathematics, what we have seen is if A is a vector, then it is having components. So let's say it is A0i. If in Cartesian coordinates we are working, so it is A1j, so A2k. And how we write it? We can write it as A0, A1, A2 as the components of the vectors in 3 dimensions, in 3 directions, that is X, Y, and Z. So this is nothing but a vector. A vector means a one-dimensional array. Okay, so this is what we can think of. And in Einstein notation, we normally represent it as AI. That's it. I is the index which is varying from 0, 1, 2, 3 depending on the dimension. If you are in 4th dimension, so it will be varying from 0 to 3. If it is in 5 dimension, it will be varying from 0 to 4 and so on. So in this way, the arrays are working in C programming as well. Okay, so now how to initialize an array? You have already knowing this now. So I can say int, then the name of that array, let's say A, and then inside the square bracket you should mention the size. So this is how you declare an array. So an array can be integer type, it can be float, it can be character array also. Okay, I have written 5. That doesn't mean it can only hold 5. It can hold any number of variables, any number of elements. But the thing is, all the elements should have same characteristic. That means their data type should be same. So this is the way to declare one array. How to initialize it, how to supply elements to it. So if I say A5, then I can supply the elements inside an array here itself by writing in flower or curly brackets 2, 5, 1, 6, 3. So there are 5 elements. So having index 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Likewise, there is another way of declaring these one-dimensional arrays. That means you simply write A, or let's say it is B, you write B, then inside the square bracket you don't write anything. Just pass on the elements in the curly brackets or flower brackets. That's it. It will automatically take the number of elements it is having. So 6 elements are there, so this will become an array having 6 elements. That means its size will be 6 into 4, that is 24 bytes. And if you are declaring some array, let's say you have declared one array C of size 5, and you are initializing this C, let's say I'm initializing here itself with 1 and 2. So if you look this, what will happen? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 places will be reserved for it. In the memory, 5 places will be reserved for this array C. But the elements are only 1 and 2. What about else? So they will be 0. So at the 0th and first index you will be having elements, rest you will not be having elements. But the size reserved will be this much only. And if you are saying C5 and let's say it is D, another array, C5, D5, and you have given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what will happen? This will create D of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 1 will come, 2 will come, 3 will come, 4 will come, 5. What about 6, 7, 8? As there is no space for them, so why they will come? They will not come at all. This is the only thing which will enter here. And you will be getting a warning. So now you know how to define a one-dimensional array. What is an array? It is a collection of elements of similar data type. Why it is done? To reduce the complexity of the program. That means to reduce the number of variable names in the program. We can only use one variable to uh, give or to use number of elements, number of different parameters. Okay, and how to declare it? Simply name it, square bracket, that's it. And if this is single index moving, so it is a one dimensional array. We can also provide the number of elements inside this. How to initialize it? Very simple. Inside the curly brackets, you supply the number of, you supply the elements. Are you permitted to do this? Yes, you are very much permitted to do. So this is all about the basic of array. So in the next video, what I'll do is I'll take you to the editor and we'll see there how we can work all this. So how can we declare, how can we initialize, and how can we fetch and everything. So in this lecture, till this point only. Thank you very much for watching.